Hello again. This is Jean-Marc, and we're going to talk about how accounts and leads actually help with your social selling. Now, maybe you're already familiar with the idea of accounts and leads. LinkedIn's going to handle this pretty much the same way you're probably used to, but let's talk about it. So, when I first started with the LinkedIn Sales Navigator tool, I was a little confused by by their talk about accounts and leads. So the big difference between accounts and leads are going to be the individual people that you want to get in contact with, and accounts are going to be the companies they belong to. Okay, so if I click on my leads, you'll see a list of people that are available for me to contact. I can reach out to these folks, and they're here. Okay, I've saved them as leads, and I plan to message them, connect with them. I can view their profile. I can view leads that are similar. I can tag them, or I can remove them, right? I can even send them in mail, which we'll talk about later. But these are lead specific people. Now, when we click on saved accounts, it's going to look a little different. It's going to be specific companies that we're trying to get in contact with. Okay, we're going to learn about how many employees they have, and it will also tell me at the bottom how many leads I have saved at all these accounts. And that's an important thing, because one of the best practices you want to observe is to aim for 7 leads at any account. Now, I start off with a few at first, but the idea is to aim for 7, because I recently went through a study that LinkedIn did to where they explained that the amount of people involved in your typical deal now have increased. It's actually ballooned. So in the past, you might have just reached out to one person. Now, what you want to aim for is reaching out to several people at the same company. Okay? See, I just found it here. Okay, so you have an average of 5.4 people that must sign off on each B2B purchasing decision. And this is according to CEB research. All right, so contact and connect with as many leads as you can at these places and aim for 7. All right, now our leads and accounts are going to be especially important when we try to go over to our home screen. Let's see how this looks. In our home screen, which you saw earlier, we have our saved leads that have tried to view our account. It lets us know. And we have different information from our saved leads. And not only our saved leads, but if we scroll down, see we have Allstate Insurance here, which is a saved account. In this instance of Sales Navigator. And you can see that it will let me know some recommended leads I can start connecting with at this specific account. And if I want to go through, I can check them out. And look, it'll even tell me how many share connections we have, which, as you know from LinkedIn Confident Connector, is very important. It's always better if you have a second connection rather than a third connection. Second connections, again, mean that you share someone in common, so that's always helpful to say, hey, Miguel, we happen to know Cynthia in common. Always helpful. Now, if you want to target your accounts by revenue, again, I think we went over this in our last lesson, but let me go over it again. An easy thing to do is to aim for specific number of employees rather at the account. So that's an easy way to do that. But also, let me look in our accounts. It may have the option. Boom. Okay, in our accounts, we also do have the option to filter companies by their annual revenue. So we did not have that option on the lead level, but in accounts, you do have that option. So that's also something you can use. Once the accounts are saved, you can go ahead and divvy them up by revenue if you want. And now let's take a trip back over to leads. And let's click over there. And I want to make sure I do harp on this, is you want to make your priority to contact people that have posted on LinkedIn in the past 30 days. It's very important. In the past, when I started getting in contact with leads, had so many that just never got back. And it was not only frustrating me, it was frustrating my client. It was just frustrating everybody. But when you contact leads that have posted in the last 30 days, you have a better chance of actually continuing that conversation, because this is an active user. And that's what we want, right? We don't want people that aren't going to reach out and are wasting our time. We want those active users. So always make sure that you click on this little tab here when it tells you how many of the people that you're searching or saved have posted on LinkedIn in the past 30 days. Awesome. Well, I don't want to beat this down too much. You got the idea. In our next lesson, we're going to talk about in-mails. And let me tell you why this is critical. Because in-mails allow you to reach out to your leads via email, via app, and also via LinkedIn messaging. So you get them all these different ways, and it's in one tool that's really cool. So check out the next video, and I will see you there.